Hello everyone. Today I compiled a long video with 25 command block creations and tutorials in Minecraft 1.16.1. Timestamps are in the description and in the timeline. Let's get into it with the first tutorial, a simple command block shop. First we need to create an objective to keep track of our money. We achieve that with this command. With this second command we make the objective visible to us, but because there are no people with money right now, it is hidden. To change the money amount for any given player we can utilize this command. Now we're going to move on to the actual shop. The first command block gives the item to the nearest player if that player has the required amount of money. The second one is a chain command block that is set to always active. It runs a command that takes the money away from the player. The only thing you have to do is replace the parentheses with the item you want to sell and with the price. Next command block creation is a cool custom parkour that you can do at home easily. The first part is effect platforms, which gives you effects when you jump from them. We have a 3x3 platform here with a command block right under it. The command block is set to repeat and has a lever on it, but you could set it to always active too. Here is the command. You can modify this value to get a stronger or lighter effect. The second platform is just as the first, but the effect is changed to jump boost. The next part is resetting the player if he or she have failed. First, mark out the corners of the area you want to reset players in. Then, write down the coordinates of the two corners. You also want to write down the coordinates of the reset point where the player will be respawned at. The next step is to go to this website whose link will be in the description. Now you are going to write the corners coordinates in the two fields and click generate. Here's an automatic Autosmelt system. The first thing we want to do is add a scoreboard objective to see if the player have mined an ore. Then we have 4 command blocks, one set to repeat and always active and the other 3 set to chain and always active. The first one gives the player the ingot if he or she has mined an ore. The second one clears the player's inventory if he or she managed to pick up an ore. The third command block kills the item that drops from the ore. Be aware that this will kill all ores that get dropped at any time. The last block removes the score from the player to end the command line. We can do the same thing for gold, just change all the references to iron ores and ingots to gold ores and ingots. Titles are very pretty, and with this tutorial you'll know how to make them. The simplest variation is this command, which simply prints out the text. But you can't build on this, so this is the appropriate syntax. It's more complicated than the first one, but you can easily make the title prettier. The next command has an added component that adds color to the title. I have left a link in the description where you can see all the color strings and the respective colors. The next part is changing the text style. Here is all the available styles. The syntax for these are on screen and in the description. If you want to have different colored or styled text in one title, you need to use this component. In the square in curly brackets you basically create a new title, but that title is displayed in the last one. The next part is subtitles, which display under the main title. When you run a subtitle command, the next title command will have a subtitle below it. The first command block here adds a subtitle, and that will be displayed when the next command block runs. We can change the timing of the title with this command. The command changes the timing indefinitely, until it's reset or changed. The first number specifies how long the fade-in lasts for. The second number specifies how long the title is completely opaque. The third number specifies how long the fade-out lasts for. The numbers are in-game ticks, so 20 units is 1 second. The last part is action bars, which are titles but smaller and right above your health. Next up, a working stopwatch in Minecraft. Use it for speed runs or to keep track of time. First we add 2 scoreboard objectives, one for display and one hidden. The second command shows the objective in the sidebar. Now we need to create 3 armor stands. There's 3 commands in the description which you want to use to summon them. The next part is creating the clock. We use an 1 second redstone clock to activate the command blocks at a constant rate. The first command blocks counts up the seconds. The second row adds 1 minute as well as removes the seconds when a minute has passed. The last 3 command blocks counts up the hours. You can add milliseconds if you want to have precise timings, but it's a lot more complicated, so I'm not showing the setup here. When we want to stop the stopwatch, we remove the scoreboard objectives and turn off the clock. Starting it, we just do the opposite. This is not really a command block tutorial, but it's a very helpful block. This is a structure block. You get one with this command. You can change the mode with this button. Here's the structure we want to save. We place one structure block at each corner and set them to the corner mode. Then we need to write the name of our structure into the text box. Make sure that you write the exact same thing in both of the structure blocks. The next step is to save the structure. We use a save structure block with the structure name in it. First click on Detect, and then click Save. Now we have our structure saved, so the next step is to load it when we want to. To load the structure, we simply use a load structure block with the structure name in it. Click Load and you should have your structure right there. I'll also mention the structure blocks can be activated by redstone, which is useful in some cases. Want to make a fun and customizable arena where you fight waves of zombies and skeletons? Well, even if you don't, here it is. The first command block creates a scoreboard objective to keep track of the wave and the amount of enemies left. The second one makes the objective visible in the sidebar. To know how many enemies are left, we use this setup. The first command block is a repeat command block and the second one is set to chain and always active. The repeat command block sets the count to 0, and the chain command block counts up the enemies. When we spawn an enemy, we have to give it the tag enemy. To do that, you just add this to the summon command. The next part is making the wave system. We first add a counter to keep track of the wave. Each wave has a line of command blocks that spawn in the enemies at the right coordinates and with the tag. The repeat command block checks if we have cleared the wave. The hovering command blocks plays the sound, prints the text and deactivates the previous wave. The 2 blue ones are chain and always active command blocks. Make sure to build this system facing the west because the commands are dependent on direction. You can see the direction here in the F3 menu. Next up, how to use the /effect command. Really useful, what more can I say? This first command gives the nearest player the effect speed. Because we don't have any more numbers, the duration and intensity is set to default. The default values are 30 seconds duration and 1 intensity. The second command has an added number, which specifies the duration of the effect in seconds. The third one has an extra number that specifies the intensity of the effect. If you write true, you can hide the particles from the effect. This is a really useful one, floating text. And it's even easier to do. The command spawns an invisible armor stand that has a custom name. The name is formatted in JSON text, which I covered in my /title video, so if you want to do more complex text, be sure to check that out. If you don't bother with that, you can change the text in this command and the color too. You can't punch these armor stands out, so if you want to remove the text, you'll have to use this command. Changing the distance value changes the range that the text get destroyed. The first command adds a scoreboard objective to keep track of how many times we have used an iron sword. Then we need this set up. The first command block is a repeat command block and the second one is a chain and always active command block. The repeat command block throws mobs up into the air after 10 successful hits. Feel free to mess around with the range and power. The second command block sets the cooldown back to 0. Finally, the last command block gives us the sword that we will use. This first command adds a scoreboard objective to keep track of time. The second command block is a repeat command block that counts up the time. The next 3 command blocks are set to chain and always active. The first chain block removes the block below an armor stand. The second one kills the armor stand. The final command block spawns the armor stands. You can change the timings to make the TNT run easier or harder. The first command block gives you 1 impact grenade. Then we have this set up. The first one is set to repeat and the second one is set to chain and always active. The command spawns the TNT and the particles. To add a new team we can use this command. The team that we are going to use in this video is named team name. The next command adds players to a select team. We can also remove players from teams with this command. This next command block empties a team of all players. To remove a team we use this command. This command lists all teams, but it works way better in chat than in command blocks. If you add a team name to the command it lists all the players in that team, and it also should be used in chat. Then we have the modify subcommand. With modify we can change a lot about the team. Here are all the different modifiers. Collison rule removes or adds collision between players in the team and other teams. Color changes the color of player names of players that are in the team. Death message visibility can change who sees the death messages of the players in the team. Friendly fire controls PvP in the selected team. Name tag visibility can hide the team members' name tags from other players. Prefix adds a text before the team members' names. It's formatted in JSON text, which I covered in my /title video. If you want to learn more be sure to check that out. Suffix adds a text after the team members' names. Like prefix, it's formatted in JSON. The last modifier can make teammates see invisible players as ghosts. To spawn a flying mob, we spawn the mob riding an invisible bat. But bats are very random and hazy. So instead of a bat we can use an invisible phantom. You can do a lot with this, especially if you use a custom mob generator. For example, I made this flying bomb by spawning a creeper with a low fuse time riding a phantom. Step is setting it up. You only need to run these commands once and you could do it in chat. Before we begin with the commands you have to build an arena. Mine is 21 × 21 and it should be close to that size. We first have to change the game rules, keep inventory and do immediate respawns. Then, go to the center of your arena and record the coordinates. You can see the coordinates of the block you're looking at here in the F3 menu. Now you want to paste the coordinates into this command, and the next one. The next step is adding the scoreboard objectives. We add 3 of these: kills, hidden kills and death. We also make kills visible in the sidebar. The second part is resetting a player if he or she died. For that we have this set up with 1 repeat and 5 chain command blocks. They need to be in this exact order, and the blocks with the not filled arrow on them has to set to conditional. The first command block spreads the dead players around the arena. In this command, paste your coordinates from earlier into it but remove the middle value. The next 4 command blocks handle sound effects and clearing the inventory. The last command block removes the scoreboard value of the dead player to end the command line. Now we're going to move on to the per game setup. These commands give a bow, an arrow and a sword to all players and resets the kills. The next part is making so player can win and give the players an arrow for a kill. We use this setup with 2 repeat command blocks and 3 chain, always active and conditional blocks. The bottom row handles winning and the top row handles kill rewards. The last command block removes arrows that are in the ground. You could remove it if you want to, it's just personal preference. This command gives the nearest player a diamond sword with sharpness level 100. You can change the enchantment, level and item easily inside of the command. If you want to hide the enchantment text from the player you can add hide flags :1 to the command. You can also give enchantments to items that can't be enchanted normally, like this stick that has sharpness level 10. With this, I created this fire rod that has fire aspect on it and a custom name. The custom name is formatted in JSON text, which I covered in my /title video, so be sure to check that out if you want to learn more. The first command fills an area with diamond blocks. It uses 2 coordinates, which refer to the 2 corners of the fill. To get the coordinate of a block, look at the block, press F3 on your keyboard and look here. Those 3 numbers are the X, Y and Z values of that block. X and Z, the first and last numbers, refers to the horizontal position of a block. Y, the middle number, refers to the height of the block. Y256 is the build limit and Y1 is bedrock level. What I do to quickly write down coordinates is that I look at the block, write/fill in the chat and press tab a couple of times. Then I remove, fill and press Ctrl and Ctrl C to copy the coordinates. Then simply go into the command block and paste Ctrl V to specify which block we want to fill with. We add the block at basically the name, after the two coordinates. Our fill command is done. Next, we are going to use relative coordinates to fill. Relative coordinates refers to the position of the command block or player who's running the command. To use relative coordinates you write 3 tildes, or waves as I like to call them. 3 tildes or waves means the position of the runner of the command. So for example, if we use this command we are going to fill the position of the command block with stone. We can add numbers after the waves to add or remove values from them. For example, we can write 1 after the middle tilde to refer to the position of the runner of the command, plus 1y, which means 1 block over it. So here we have 2 coordinates, 1 wave 1 wave, and the other one wave 3 wave. Thus, this command block fills an area from 1 block above it to 3 blocks above it. We can also do this with X and Z. Finally, we are going to move on to special fill criterias. You add these after the type of block you want and there are a few of them. The first one is replace which, for you also need to specify which block type we want to replace. For example, this command replaces gold block with diamond blocks in an select area that is specified which relative coordinate is. The next special add-on is destroy, which simply drops the blocks that got filled out, and plays a sound and particle effect as if you had broken the blocks. This works best if you fill an area with air. Next we have hollow and outline. They are pretty similar in the sense that the fill an area that is hollowed, but hollow makes all blocks inside air blocks while outline keeps them. Here are 2 examples. Last one is keep, which basically does what replace air does. It fills an area but keeps all non-air blocks. We are going to use this setup to activate a number of commands when a player joins. The first command block is a repeat command block and the second one is set to chain, always active and conditional. The repeat block detects if a player doesn't have the tag login. Then, the second block adds the tags to all players without it. To add commands that activate when a player joins, add command blocks set to chain, always active and conditional in the middle of the line like this example on screen. In these command blocks you write all the commands, for example /give commands to give the new player some items. Make sure to add square brackets with tag equals !! login inside of them after the A in the command like shown on screen. We first add a scoreboard objective to know if the player has dropped an end rod, which is going to be our Teleportation Wand. Then we have this set up with 1 repeat command block and 3 blocks set to chain, always active and conditional. The first command block kills the drop teleportation wands. The second block teleports the player. The third command gives back the wand to the player. The final command block removes the score from the player. To give all players the wand we use this last command. Number 1. /give. To even give yourself a command block you need to use this command, and it's very simple. You just write /give, and then a target like a P or a tar, and then an item. Number 2. /kill. If you want to get rid of any entity or kill a player, this is the command for it. Number 3. /TP. This is an obvious. TP is used everywhere in Minecraft. For example, this command block teleports me a 100 block up into the air. Number 4. /summon. Summoning mobs is very versatile. You can make them fast, make them wear armor, make them one-shot you, or giving the mob a name. Number 5. /clear. This command is especially useful in Bedrock Edition, where the trash can doesn't exist. Number 6. /game mode. To switch your game mode, this command is it. Changing your game mode is a must in custom maps and creative worlds. Number 7. /weather. This command switches the weather and how long that weather is going to last. For example, this command makes the weather go clear for a minute. Number 8. /game rule. /game rule can change a lot about the game, like mob griefing or daylight cycle. Number 9. /spawn point. The spawn point command is a sleek way to set a spawn point without having to sleep in a bed. Number 10. /time. If you want to set the time to any time of the day, this is the command. You can write noon, day or night after the command to set the time to that time. We start the command with /give. Then we can add the target like at P, which means the nearest player, at A, which means all players, or at R, which means a random player. Third step is adding the item name like diamond, stone or emerald. The last thing we add is the amount of items to give. If you don't specify the number, it defaults to 1. To make the item have a name, you add this text after the item name. The first thing you want to do is build this kind of redstone clock with repeaters and blocks. You can make it slower or faster by adding repeaters and increasing their delay. At every block, place a command block so it gets activated by the clock. Paste the command in the description into the command blocks. Use the iron command in most of the blocks and the gold one is 1, maybe 2. You can also make diamond and emerald commands very easily. Then, you want to go to your generator and place a block on the middle of it like this. Look at the block, press F3 and look here. Take those 3 numbers and write them in the commands. But that is everything for today. Sorry I didn't feature anything new. I've been busy these last 2 days so I couldn't do a normal video. If you liked the video, please consider liking or subscribing. It really helps out a lot. See you later.